and even
he
me...
was basically nearly as bad as Hitler.
Yes, but nobody talks about it.
Oh, I know.
But that's why I want to make sure we don't call him a Nazi or like Hitler, because he's not. He is as bad, but he did his own thing.
It's set in 1930s fascist Italy and places a bigger focus on Pinocchio, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, okay, fascist, yeah.
Fascist?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Geekdom Movies. We got the great pleasure of watching Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Now, I was not excited to see this movie until I saw the reviews, and they were pouring in high. I do think this is the front runner at this point for winning the Best Animated Film of 2022 at the Academy Award. We're gonna do it. We're gonna watch. We've been saying this for years, but we're finally gonna do it. We're gonna do a live video. If you're watching this right now, I'm dropping this before the Academy Awards and the Oscars come out. We're gonna dress up. You guys are gonna come over on Sunday, right. March 13th or 14th, whatever the Oscars are. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it live, so you'll see our reactions with the clothes they're wearing, the jokes they're making. Maybe Will Smith come and slap someone again. We have no idea.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Maybe Chris Rock will come out with like a metal, like bodyguard metal suit. Somebody might get. I mean, who knows? But we will see who the winners and losers are. It's gonna be all live. We're not gonna cut it. We're not gonna record it and post it later. It will of course be on later. But if you want to watch it live, as the Academy Awards is happening, you have to tune in for the Oscars. So that'll be exciting. Keep the date open. It's March 13th or 14th. It's a Sunday. That's the Oscars. It starts at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern, and it goes till 11 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be doing the whole show live. And it'll be a lot of fun. We'll joke around. We'll get some alcohol in us. We'll be a little tipsy. We'll say boo if we don't agree.
The next day off.
Yes,
that is so late.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. But we will be done before midnight. So even if you do have to go to work at 8 a.m., hopefully you can get home by midnight or whatever.
I go to work at 7.
Yeah, but we're going to do it. After four years of saying we're going to do it live, we're doing it this year. I'm going to have it recorded too, so that way we don't miss anything. You'll see our live reaction. We'll dress up. We'll do a little bit of snazzy for the Academy, you know what I'm saying? We got some, but yeah, tune in. This is an early special announcement. I just wanted to let you guys know. Tell your friends, tell your babies, tell your nannies, tell your bosses, tell everyone to come tune in live for the Oscars. We're really excited. We got a great list of Oscar nominations. I'm rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once for winning
I want the
Best Picture, but I do like all the other things on the list, like Top Gun. I really enjoyed Avatar. Yeah. There's a couple other movies I can't remember at the top of my head, but it's been a very good year for the Oscars. A lot of great movies, a lot of great acting, and a lot of different categories. I'm thinking Black Panther 2. Actually, you know what? Special effects and sound effects wise, it's a tie between Top Gun and Avatar right now to see who's gonna take it. I think Avatar is just gonna clean because of water. Because of the water. Yeah. So you can't. I don't know.
That's got to go to Top Gun. There's no way that can't go to Top Gun.
We'll see. And if you don't agree with it, you can boo the screen.
They did things for that they've never done for any movie. True. And I mean, granted, I totally believe that yes, Avatar should have special effects. That you should definitely win that because they did a phenomenal job. Oh yeah,
for sure.
But in regards to actual cinematography, you can't beat what Tom Cruise did for that.
It is still my number one movie of the year, Top Gun. Yep, easily. I loved Avatar. I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once is number 2 for me. It's not going to change.
That's my top for sure.
But what Tom Cruise was able to do with Top Gun, and the way he filmed it, and how long it's been a great year. Guillermo del Toro, which we're about to review. Guillermo del Toro worked like a decade into that woodwork to make Pinocchio and that world come to life. I don't think anybody watched that Tom Hanks Pinocchio live action movie on Disney Plus. Your brother did?
Tried.
Oh, really?
He got less than 5 minutes in and he's like, nope.
Well, on that note, let's get into our Pinocchio review.
Over there. What is that?
Papa!
He's just a puppet.
No, I'm not. I'm a real boy.
All right.
Now, again, like I said, this was a movie. I didn't watch the trailers. I just knew that it was out and it was getting great reviews. So my wife and I, we got some wine, we got some popcorn, and we watched it. Now, I will say the first 10 minutes of this movie is heartbreaking. Like, it really,
It's like
emotional punch, Up, like I was saying.
All over again,
Without going to spoilers, just watch it if you haven't. It's on Netflix. Just just click it open. It really affected me. But the eyes on the wings, all the stuff, I was like,
the steampunk.
yeah, and I was like, that's one of the. I think it was one of the archangels. I think that's what they look like. But yeah, like it was. I was mind blown that somebody had the audacity to make an angel look like that in real life. I loved it. I love Kate Blanchett. I love her. As everybody knows, I love Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. She's so good as, and I forgot her name. Who's Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings? The White Witch. Well, Kate Blanchett just has an angelic voice in general. She's in the second half. Just watch it. She just does great stuff. I liked how dark this movie got. I really enjoyed it. The second half of this movie, I was not prepared for the second half of this movie. We were talking a little bit about like what happens in the second half. There's a war during World War II, and there is a bad guy, and there's some really good stuff in the second half that really just blew my mind. Like the first half, after the first heartbreaking scene, kind of lost interest. I just couldn't focus. Right after, if you've read the books, there's a circus scene, and when that circus scene ends and Pinocchio kind of separates from what's his name, Geppetto, and kind of goes along, and Gelato, Jello pudding snack. You know, when he separates and kind of goes on this like journey by himself with whatever happens in the second half. Oh my gosh, I was just like completely hooked every second of the second half. It's beautiful, really great storytelling. Like spoilers, like guys, I was not ready for that. Man, it's an incredible movie. It's not perfect. I didn't love every second of it. Like I said, I have issues with the first half without going into spoilers, but the second half, just the last hour is just so good. The last hour is, if I had to rewatch this movie, I'll probably just skip to the last half and rewatch the second half again because it's that good. I will just skip the first half and do that because, man, oh man, like the storytelling, the acting, everything hits in the second half. For me personally, if you've seen it, let us know your thoughts. But Shannon, I'm going to throw it over to you. Tell us about woodworking and how hard probably it was to make this movie that I probably don't know.
Incredibly hard. Everything you do with woodworking is just an undertaking. And to see somebody create all these little puppets with all these super intricate details, and then they're a marionette and they move a certain way. It was gorgeous. And I usually am not a fan of stop motion. Like a lot of the stop motion just takes me out of it, and I'm not into the movie. And yes, it's impressive what they can do with clay, but I don't think we've ever seen one where they carved everything out of wood before. And they managed to get the frame rate down.
Yeah,
they had the frame rate so dialed in that this looked more like 3D animation than it did like stop motion, and it kept you in the story. So
yeah, I actually watched the 20-minute making of this movie on how they did it. You should, because Kubo and the Shoestrings also did woodworking stop motion.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was the first movie. That was the first movie to do it, and this is the second to do it. So yeah.
I like when movies go weird. I like when movies do something different. If you're gonna do weird, Pinocchio is like the best movie to go weird with because it's
just don't do Tim Burton weird. I hate Tim Burton weird.
I love
Tim Burton.
Wearing a Beetlejuice shirt. I love Tim Burton.
I know you just saw the plays.
It was artistry. Everything they did with it is like commendable as an artistic thing.
I was totally like just I did not want to watch this movie so badly. I so badly did not want to watch this movie that I was like I can't even tell you. Like this was probably like one of the times I least wanted to watch a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't like stop motion.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in claymation at all. I'm not interested in Pinocchio. Like this did not hit on any level for me. So watching this movie and actually being somewhat interested in it, I consider that a huge hit because
really?
It's not interesting to me, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
So like being able to actually create a story, and like I know there were points in like the first half of it that were slow, but like they were like dialogue, and I'm not used to. I guess you could say I've never seen a Pinocchio movie that actually had like those portions of it in it, where you actually see like Geppetto talking with other people like in town and stuff. Never seen it in any other Pinocchio movie. So that was definitely an original thing for me, and just it gave you like a new outlook on Geppetto. Like he wasn't this perfect old man.
Yeah.
Like you'd think he is.
Maybe you have a different perspective from mine, because I just found it boring the first half, but that's interesting. Okay.
It was an interesting take that I noticed while watching this, and just like some of the, I guess I never really thought of why he wanted a real boy. I thought it was.
Oh
just
yeah,
he
this
wanted
does
a
a
real
really
boy.
okay. You're right. This movie does a really good job of showing why
Why
he was
he did
granted
Yes.
Pinocchio that I've never
Yeah.
seen in any
'Cause-
other
'cause
adaptation.
Previously, it was like, oh, this old guy wants a little kid to hang out
Because he's
with,
lonely,
which
right?
is
Like he wants to
kind
be a
of-
dad. And you're like, yeah.
We'll allow it. So yeah, this movie actually showing why that is. Wow, like that was really good. And then also showing that, like Pinocchio's character in this was much different than like, just
That I'll give you.
just some adolescent
Yeah.
kid. Like in the other versions of Pinocchio I've seen, he was like an adolescent kid who was basically like screw off grandpa kind of thing, like
I like the conversations between Jiminy Cricket and him as to why. It's like he
was in it.
Yeah.
He's genuinely trying to find out what he is. What he is and what he's supposed to be like, what a person is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Which is something that you didn't really see in the previous ones. He was just like some fun-loving kid,
Right.
So I really like the relationship between Geppetto and Pinocchio in this one. That was highly elevated compared to the other Pinocchios.
It's very adult conversations too, and a lot of adult emotions
It is.
that really blew me away. Yeah.
And I feel like you can even recognize it no matter what age group you're in.
Yeah.
When you go back and watch cartoons, you find that there's adult humor in it. Like then you start cracking up. Whereas this one, like I feel like you can pick up on the humor no matter what age you are.
Okay.
So without any spoilers, that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, so I think we all are recommending it. It was probably the best I think we can all agree it's probably the best adaptation of Pinocchio we've ever seen.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's ever going to top this adaptation of Pinocchio. Unlike Bill Murray's Scrooge movie, it's just never going to get topped in my world. Bill Murray as Scrooge was so amazing in the 80s. I love that movie. But Golden Popcorn. A lot of good reasons as to why this will win the best animated film at the Academy Awards. By far, nothing is touching this, I feel like. I mean, I'd be very shocked if another animated film wins. Because, I mean, like, yeah. I loved Turning Red, and I was hoping that Turning Red, because I think the story about girls and period and, like, the way they did that story was just, like, really unique and brilliant.
It was.
Yeah,
and it was
good.
a very important topic.
That we have so many movies already, and the adolescent girl movie is like a new genre.
Before Pinocchio, I was like, Turning Red was the best animated feature last year, because it sure as hell wasn't Buzz Lightyear or what is it, Strange World, right? Those movies were like, I liked Buzz Lightyear, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna say Buzz Lightyear should win best animated feature of 2022. But with Pinocchio, it is adult conversations, like artistry up the wazoo, like to a level that I've never seen before with woodwork and like animation style. Like you said, you don't even like stop motion, and you were like focused on the story.
They call it animation even though it's not animated.
Claymation, stop motion. I mean, it's still animated.
It's
as
animated
far as
wood, I guess. So okay.
It is moving like it's not real life,
it's
right?
It's an animated piece of wood. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I do think Pinocchio is going to win it. I have some questions. We're going into our spoiler review. You can stick around or go check it out. It's easy. Just turn on your Netflix and watch it. Like it's available right now. But I did have a few things that I was confused about. So like he was building the church with his son, and he was trying to finish it, right? Mm-hmm. And he was painting it. He did the woodwork for Jesus. I feel like I'm missing something with allegory to that. Something religious, like where he stopped working on it. So when he lost his son, he just kind of unfinished, like God wasn't.
Yeah, I think it just kind of meant he like lost his faith. He lost his passion for. Yeah, he just started drinking.
Oh right. So instead of painting at the paintbrush, he picked up the. Oh my gosh.
Right.
I'm like, there's something deep meaning here with this church and with the stupid statue of Jesus that I am just not. And also the community has become very fascist, as we know that Mussolini was infecting the community. And even when he was walking by, there was a poster of something else, and then it became a picture of Mussolini in the town or village or whatever. And I googled it later after the movie, and that actually happened. Parents sent their kids two camps with Mussolini, not just Hitler as we saw in Jojo Rabbit, but also, but like, you know, he was like, like the dad was like, go kill Pinocchio because you didn't win. But he was like genuinely like, Dad, look, we both got the flag, we both won, like we're working together. And he's like, no, if you really want to win, you have to kill Pinocchio.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I was just like, this is fucking
What?
insane. Like, this is crazy. Like, and like all of that stuff was just I was unhinged angry watching that scene. Like, I was just like, that mother effer needs to die. Like, and it's real, so raw. And I'm glad like Mussolini got I've been waiting a long time for a movie like this. I didn't think it was going to be Pinocchio to do it, because whenever we talk about World War II, it's always Hitler, right? But Mussolini was as terrible, if not worse than Hitler in a lot of ways, you know? And that's the biggest reason I think this movie deserves. All the woodwork is great, all the animation is great, all the themes and all the stuff is great, but the stuff with those kids in camp with Mussolini and his dad just pushed it for me above anything I've seen this year. In the sense of animation, at least, not like, you know, live action or whatever, but like I think that is, and I think he did it in a way that still had the message of Pinocchio learning those lessons, but through war. That is so brilliant. It's very brilliant.
He's not going to war in any other adaptation of the movie.
Yeah.
They didn't do Pleasure Island in this one.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I am
think we've seen it enough times.
Yeah.
We don't need to see it
This
again.
was better for that reason. Because of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody had to turn into a donkey. Yeah.
Somebody turned into a donkey.
In the original 1930s version, the kids are drinking, they're smoking, they're like...
So Europe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, man, you could just never get away with that in a movie today. Like, he drinks root beer in the new Disney Pinocchio instead of real beer, which is like...
Which makes sense with the time. You're not going to have him drink alcohol in a Disney movie where kids are watching. This is not going to happen.
But he did in the original, which is
Well,
crazy,
it was a
right?
different time.
And it was a very different time back then, yeah.
Well, elephants are allowed to drink, Shannon. Just kids aren't.
He wasn't a 21-year-old elephant, though. Not even an elephant.
Well,
years.
animals, I think, could drink, no matter what age they are. I could be wrong here.
Yeah.
Could you, actually, that's a good question. Could you get in trouble for making your kitten or your puppy drink alcohol? Is that a law?
It's probably...
I wonder.
It's probably considered.
What about a wooden puppet?
Yeah, it's a tie. Yes, that's what I was. Kate Blanchett as the angel who says, like, every time you die, this is the clock you have, and that's how much time you have.
You know what? That Sphinx was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
She was
It's just like, oh, my sister. Oh, I see, like, my sister visited you and gave you life, like, wood spirits or whatever. And she came. I thought that was all really fascinating stuff. I just, yeah, and I just love the fact that, like, everything in this movie was like a lesson in life as adults and children. Everything I did and saw in this movie was like a lesson for even me as a human being, just in general. You don't have to be a kid to be like, that's a great message here.
Each
like,
character had their own message.
Yes. From Jimmy Cricket, you're right. The angel who brought Geppetto. I love the monkey in the end. It's just like, the monkey was awesome because he's like, wait, Pinocchio likes me. It's like, I'm very confused by this because he treats him so bad. Who's the voice of the circus manager? Do you remember? I recognized his voice. Was it Borat? I thought it was Borat.
Oh yeah, it was.
Was it?
It was Borat. Yeah,
I think so.
I really, I don't know. You guys, I can keep talking. I should let you guys talk about some other stuff that you guys had for spoilers.
I thought it was great. I don't really want to see it again, but I'm glad I saw it once. Anything else, guys?
Covers it for me.
Next